Hello, beautiful people. It's me, Dezor, and this is my first episode on wellness as worship. Crazy to say, but I just finished having a conversation with my parents, and it's crazy to me how I continue to hear stories that I've heard before, but I hear it in a different way every time. Or for instance, my mom will tell me stories about her life, and I will hear it, little details that I haven't heard before every single time. And she said this one line that really stuck with me and gave me the revelation to truly start this podcast. Because let me just backtrack. I have been thinking on starting this podcast for months, and it was so clear to me on the name of the podcast and what the podcast should be about. And I've just been lazy, just haven't been doing it. But when I go back to what my mom said, she said, I need to write down my story. And when she said that, it punched me in my gut, because it made me think about how this podcast can be that for someone in the future. Maybe it could be for my mom. Maybe it could be for other people, because I watch so many podcasts of where they bring people to their room, to their studio, and they have a deep conversation. And not only are you allowing that person to tell their story, that story can help so many of the viewers who are watching it. And when my mom said that, it kind of internalized in a way of well, Dezor, you could have been doing that with wellness as worship, and you took so long to start. So I'm starting now. And I don't know where this is going to lead, but I wanted to get that out there, because very recently there has been a lot of clear signs, not only for me to start this podcast, but for me to move in a direction that I've never seen before. But I trust it so much that I know it's the right thing to do, and I just need to listen to that spirit a lot more, the Holy Spirit. Another thing, I had mentioned to my friend, she's very Christian, and I'm Christian as well, but leaning more into my faith a lot. And I was talking to my friend the other day, and I kept saying intuition. And she was like, girl, that's the Holy Spirit. Don't confuse the two. I said, oh, okay. She didn't say it exactly like that, but that's how I heard it in my mind. And I'm like, let me start leaning into that a little bit more. Let me start listening to the Holy Spirit a lot more. And I'm kind of hitting a lot of things throughout this first episode, but I want to get my thoughts out there, because that's all will be encompassed of wellness as worship. I want to do this through my Dezor Wellness platform, because Dezor Wellness is all about letting people know that there are 8 dimensions of wellness, and our lives are multi-dimensional, and that wellness isn't necessarily a luxury. It is a must-have, and it comes naturally to us, but it is up to us how much attention we give it and how we are prioritizing it in our lives. That's a lot to unpack, and that's what I want to do with Dezor Wellness. And a couple of months ago, I was sitting on the idea of okay, how do I start that? And then I'm like, you know what? Sometimes I like to talk into space, and I have a lot of internal conversations with myself that I think will be very helpful for other people to have, because it's becoming clear to me that some people just don't have the capacity to be self-aware of themselves, or to know how to move from an A situation to a B situation. And that's all that I'm about. If I'm here and I want to be here, let me figure out how to get there. And some people don't have that within themselves. They need support or realization from another person that that is possible. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just something that some people need support in. So I know for sure that is one of my superpowers, and I want to share that with the world. And with that, I started to think about, okay, podcast. What can I do with that? And when I started to think on it more, I'm like, okay, I like the idea of this. And very clear to me, wellness as worship came in my mind. And I gave it a little bit of thought, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. But months later, and now we're here, and I haven't done it since then, but I'm doing it now. And with wellness as worship, I'm not quite sure where I want to go with it, but I know that it's needed, and I know it's something that I would have loved, and it's just such a great name. And I think it's something to talk about, because when you are starting your walk in faith and starting to learn about Jesus and God and all of that, I'm no what is it called, like expert. Everyone's still learning, but like I'm still a beginner. But I know for sure that worshiping fuels my soul and a lot of other people's soul. And I also love wellness. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but let me get this out. I also love wellness. And I know that wellness is not looked at in a light of how I look at it. I feel like on social media, people always see wellness as like doing puppy yoga or getting your matcha at 6 a.m. or having the perfect morning routine, having a 10-step skincare routine, having flawless skin. Some people do view wellness as, are you able to not get angry at somebody if they do something that tries to get you mad? Are you able to be mature in a relationship? Things like that. But I think a lot of people don't talk about that side of wellness enough. And wellness is just seen so external and not so much internal. And with all the 8 dimensions of wellness, we're talking about physical, emotional, occupational, financial, social, intellectual. Can I remember the others? I'm missing 2. Ooh. We'll get there. But at the same time, it's like people, when I start to list those off, and I've done it with like my friends, I've done it with strangers, and they're like, no, I didn't know that was it. But when you truly start to think about it, that does encompass your life, and wellness is all around you. And wellness can be a pathway to how you worship the Lord. And I think that is a really big way of how I worship the Lord. And forgive me, I'm forgetting, the verse of your body's your temple or something like that. But when you read more into that, it's more than that. It's like Jesus Lord is inside of you, and you just have to carry that out. And I think at this part of my life, that is what I'm struggling with. And I think I connect through the Lord a lot more when I am doing wellness activities, when I am working out and going to the gym and pushing past my mental boundaries, when I am choosing to do something correct rather than choosing the easiest route, when I am being calm in a situation that can easily get me angry, when I am feeling alone but I know that I can pray about it. It's a lot. Oh, and look at me forgetting one of the good 8 dimensions of wellness. Spirituality. Spiritual wellness. Come on now. I can't remember that 8th one though, but I digress. But I've been talking for about 10 minutes, and I don't know if I've been making sense, but I just wanted to get my mind clear of this, because I definitely think this is something that needs to be talked about, and this is something that I need to do. And I'm definitely in the period of my faith where I'm constantly hearing, if the Holy Spirit is telling you what to do it. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, thank you so much. I actually just decided that I'm not going to cut any of this out, and I'm just going to post this straight to YouTube. So if you're watching this, I hope that you've had a blessed day, that you're going to have a blessed day, and that you continue to move forward in your life, that you step with purpose and you live in service, because another day is another blessing, and you better believe that, okay? So once again, it's me, Dezor. Thank you so much for joining me for my first episode of Wellness as Worship. And this is a mouthful, and I'm so excited to see where this leads the world. How many people I can reach, and how many people can find this as a resource to them. So God bless you, and I'll see you next time. Peace and love.